I think the world has changed a lot,
Yeah.
and I think that we are in the best time as a woman to do whatever we want now.
Hi, welcome to PWRMUMS Podcast. Today we're joined by Cindy Goh, who is the founder of ORIBEL here in Singapore. Welcome to the podcast, Cindy.
Hello, thank you, Catherine. It's lovely being here.
Would you mind introducing a little bit about yourself and your family and why you started the business?
Okay, so I'm a mom to two girls.
Yeah.
They're 15 years old and 11 years old, but they're still very little to me.
They're still your baby.
I know, and they still behave like babies.
Yeah.
And I'm the founder of ORIBEL. ORIBEL is a baby company.
Okay.
We sell baby products and developmental toys.
And so how did ORIBEL start? Because your background isn't in kids, right?
No.
So maybe better if we start. What's your background?
Well, it's a kind of roundabout career because I graduated with a Bachelor of Accountancy.
Okay.
And I was in finance and accounting and audit for 5 years of my career.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to engineering, and for the last 20 years I've been in the manufacturing industry.
Okay. And so what kind of things did you manufacture before ORIBEL?
Oh, we do a lot of stuff, mainly in the consumer electronics, computer-related appliances.
Okay.
And we also do some work for the baby business for several of the major international brands.
Okay.
And that's where it started, actually.
Yeah, nice little link in there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we started doing some work for the baby industry, actually after I had my own baby.
Okay.
And you get a lot of insights into the baby product, and you're buying so much and you're going, hey, it could be better, right? So we started designing products, from steam sterilizer to activity center to car seats for major brands.
Yeah.
And we came out with some ideas for an activity center. Because I absolutely love this category.
Yeah.
Because my two daughters, they grew up with activity center when they were babies.
Yeah. If anyone's not familiar with an activity center, what is an activity center?
Okay, so an activity center, it looks something like that, but we're now using our powder plate activity center as a table.
Multifunctional.
Right, that's true. But what you do is you put a kid inside, a seat in a table, and they are in a better position to interact with toys.
Okay.
So at 4 months, when they're ready to sit, you put them in, and they can interact with the toys and entertain themselves. Because the other alternative is to lie on a mat, a play mat, and interacting with toys or even mom and dad in that position is just not as conducive. And the fact that also an activity center has a little bit of stretch on the bounce, so it helps them to move, and that gets them really excited.
Yeah.
So they stay in there for 20 minutes, precious mom time, and that's one of the reasons why I really love it.
Can go to the toilet.
I can do my dishes, I can go get it. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep them attended at all time. Mm-hmm. But you can go sneak out, come back. Yeah, I'm really happy that it stays there. So this activity center we created, we think it's wonderful. So our team, our industrial designers, mechanical engineers, manufacturing engineers, we came out with a concept for an activity center, and we started going around to all the companies and start pitching them.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to take the idea.
Okay.
And we were like, why?
Yeah.
But we felt so strongly about it. We say, hey, why don't we take it? Why don't we launch it ourselves? And so that's how we started ORIBEL.
How good is that? I love that story.
It's just like I don't know. It's like a big. I don't know. It's just not so. It's a strange story.
But I think it's so nice, right? It's like that's the ultimate power mum to me. It's like, you don't want to make my thing? That's okay. I'll make it myself. And look where you are now. So aren't you glad that no one wanted it?
I think it's out of spite. I think it's just
not?
a lot of anger when we first started. Like, hey, it's like indignant. It didn't start out with like a big, woo. It's like.
No one wants
indignant and angry, and we just say, hey, I'm going to take it myself, you don't want to do it. So that's how we started it, and I'm really glad we did, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a very fun journey.
And that was your first product?
Yes, that's our first product.
After you launched ORIBEL. And ORIBEL, the name, picked out of nowhere, or has it got a little bit of history behind it?
Okay. So when we first started, we are all manufacturing engineers, right? So we went to an agency And actually Lendor did the job for us.
Okay.
So we entrusted Lendor because we know that they are a good agency, and they came up with the brand ORIBEL for us.
Nice.
So Ori for original, because it's what we want to be. We want to be innovative, inventive, and every product we bring into the market, we want it to be a completely new category, like what we did with the Verdi Play toys, or it has to be we have to bring a critical innovation in an existing category.
Yeah.
Because we think the world has a lot of product. It doesn't need another generic product.
Yeah.
So that was our key core value, and that's why it's Ori for original and Belle for beauty. Because when I had my baby, my living room became like a playroom. You know, it's not a living room that I could feel comfortable. I come back to, and it's a soothing place. So I wanted the baby product to fit into our modern lifestyle.
Yes, that's because a lot of the time it's like these fluorescent colors, and you're like, no, just give me something aesthetically pleasing, which is still developmentally appropriate for my kid, but it doesn't need to give me a headache every time I look at it, right? So that's what you're creating. So these colors blend in with the rest.
Yes, and you cannot just put these products and all these big gears in the nursery, in the children's playroom.
Yeah.
Because you want a baby to be with you everywhere you are, in the living room, in the dining room.
Yeah.
So it has to fit in your, lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that it does fit parents.
Yep.
It has to be original, but of course it has to serve its purpose, and that is to make parenting easier and to enable babies to grow up in a better way.
Yeah, and I guess that's why you don't just churn out products, right? So I know you have the Porter Play, you have the high chair. So,
Yes.
and the high chair is a bit special. It's not just your typical high chair that you put them in. I think you can definitely tell there was a lot of thinking going on to make sure that it serves multiple purposes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's everything. Almost everything in ORIBEL. It serves multiple purpose. So this high chair is inspired by the fact that I feel like I bought too many gears when I was a mom. So I had a little Moses basket as a bassinet, because when I'm in the living room and I want my baby close to me, I need a little basket to put the little one when she's little, like 3 months and below. And so we need a high chair as well. So we thought, hey, let's mash these two up, and we have this cocoon high chair. So it can be used as a bassinet. So you can place your baby there when she's little, and when she's sleeping, you can watch over her, you can have a coffee with your friend, you can watch TV, you can do some work. And when she's ready to wean off and eat, and you convert that into a high chair. So it's 2-in-1.
2-in-1.
And also I'm an Asian mom, so we feed our kids for a long time. Because the food is really hot, like porridge, and soupy, like noodles, right?
Yeah.
So we felt that this big tray, we don't need that for the first 2 years of the baby's, feeding time.
Because you're feeding.
You're feeding, right? So you don't need a big tray. So we have this little tray that sticks in on the side of the high chair, and you can just feed the baby with just a little bowl of gruel and a little water. And that's all you do. And you can come closer. You can soothe the baby.
Yep.
She dirties herself. You can clean her up. You don't have a big tray that comes in between you. So in a way, we kind of make it very. We very fit it to the Asian lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's not so close that the baby can just like put their hand in it, right? Like it's a little bit away, so that it's like they don't necessarily see where this magical food is coming from.
That's true. But babies do have hands everywhere.
Yeah, true. I'm learning.
That's true. Yes. How old's your little one?
She will be 8 months. This in a couple of days.
Oh.
So she now nothing is safe. She will grab everything now, to the point that like actually having the table in front of her, because we have your high chair, is quite good, because I can make sure that that's there, so she can't grab my hair, my nose, poke my eyes.
But you're supposed to let her explore.
No, she can sometimes.
That's true.
But I quite like how their table, you can then take it out and it's magnetic on the back, so you can just stow it away and it's not getting dirty. It all kind of fits together. So
that's true. Yeah. That's what we wanted to.
It's all smart design.
We try our best.
Yeah. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you was, starting a kids' baby business when there are so many established companies already out there, was it hard to sell it to the Asian market, who might already know of like the big US companies? Would they trust a local brand? Did you have to kind of win people over? Is there any insight you have into that?
It's actually indeed quite challenging, because baby products, you need credibility, because moms are concerned about the safety of the product, so it does take some time. So we're quite fortunate. We have very good partners that who have helped us. So in the US, our first market is in the US. So when we first launched a brand in 2015, 5 years ago, we went straight into the US market.
Before even trying Singapore?
Yes.
That was brave. Hey, Singapore, you'd be like, oh, we'll try it in Singapore. No, we're going to go jump in the deep end.
Well, we have 30,000 babies a year.
Yeah.
But in the US, you have 4 million babies.
Yeah.
So you have to validate an idea. I think it's best place to validate.
Yeah.
You also have a bigger population. Because if it doesn't work in Singapore, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't work in the US.
True.
And also an active center category is also a more American category. Okay. American moms are more familiar with this product. So that's the reason why we went to the US. So we're really quite lucky because we met with companies like Giggle. Giggle was a wonderful baby retailer in the US. They have 14 stores. And they are they have really small, not too big stores, but very well curated product. And we're happy that we're the only activity center that made it into the Giggle store.
Oh, wow.
So the Giggle CEO actually met with us, examined our product, talked to us about our product, and they know their products very well. And so when they decided that this is the right activity center for them, it was like a big wow, pat on the back. And they know that. Yes. And following after Giggle took our product, Babies R Us, Bye Bye Baby, which is part of Big Bath and Beyond Group, and Target came, and we were able to go into all these channels. So having, being able to get into the major retailers in the US was a big encouragement for us and really set us into a more credible level. Yeah. Because you have to get through the buyers in every of these stores. And all these buyers are buyers in the category, and they know the category very well. So we were very lucky. So we were able to penetrate the US, and that helped pave the way for the rest of the markets.
Okay, so then you launched in Singapore after the US?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of?
Yes, and then we went to China.
Via China to Singapore.
So China and Singapore about the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. And China, of course, you have the biggest population.
Yeah.
So we're quite lucky also. And of course, Mothersworth. Mothersworth is a local company. Yeah. They are a local retailer here. They have beautiful stores, very well created, curated products.
Yes.
And they help us too in Singapore, and they help us in China. And with that, I think the relationship we have with the retailer is very important because they help you establish credibility.
Yeah. Yeah, and their salespeople become the product experts, right? So they, I've been there. As a new mum or a soon-to-be mum, you go into this shop and you're like, help me, I don't know, but I know that I don't know.
That's true. Especially when it comes to like more complex categories, strollers, there are so many different types, right? Definitely. So the salespeople there, they are all experts.
Yes.
And I think that's a difference because if you had gone online, pure online, you really don't have an expert picking out products. So it's hard to find your way in this big online space. But in the retail store, they curate their product, and all the store sales assistant knows their product. They understand, and I think that helps a lot in building up the trust in our product. Yeah,
and as you said, when you go into Mothersworth, everything looks nice, and that helps as well because we judge a book by its cover, right? Especially for baby products. Sometimes it's like I'll take it all, but sometimes you're like, oh no, I really want to get the right thing, and then if it's put nicely and if you can try it out and you can see, I think that would really help too.
Absolutely, I think so too, because I was a mom. It was really difficult. What kind of high chair, which activity center, which stroller, which car seat. Oh gosh, that's a lot.
Definitely.
A lot to learn about.
And sometimes things look really nice, but you're like, oh, if only it did this. So I think the fact that you're trying to merge together, looking nice, but doing nice as well.
And you don't really know until you used it, right?
Until you've bought the wrong thing.
Until you bought the wrong thing, you're right. And you don't really know what your needs until you've gone through. Because you've never fed a child at 5 months old when you're ready to buy a high chair. You don't really know what you need, right? You never had a baby in an activity center. So you don't really know what you need until you've really gone through it.
Yeah, or until someone in your mummy's group gets one and then you're like, oh, I need one right now.
So cancerism is not a Singaporean thing, right?
Well, maybe it's
a universal thing.
It's a universal. It's a new mum thing. Or not necessarily wanting to be first, just not wanting to be last and be like, oh, I've missed that milestone because of me.
I am definitely so glad you're a Singaporean now.
Yeah, for sure. as a woman in Singapore, what were the challenges, even before ORIBEL, when you had your manufacturing business? How was that? What did that look like for you? What were the challenges? What were your successes? Did people support a woman? Did they expect you to be a certain way?
I actually like the baby business because in the manufacturing business, you don't see a lot of women. And specifically in where we are, in the precision engineering sector. So it is difficult to get respect. When I was first started 20 years ago, but I think the world has changed a lot, and you know, and I think that we are in the best time as a woman to do whatever we want now. In every trade.
Okay. So you sort of paved the way then, because 20 years ago it wasn't easy for you, but you've possibly helped make some changes to make it easier for someone going into that area now.
That's true, but it's also. I think women, we don't like to be in the manufacturing business too.
Okay.
And that's the reason why, although I really like engineering, my father has asked that I take on a finance course and accountancy, because he thinks that that's what a woman should do.
That's more of a woman's role. Okay.
Yes, so it's only later that I went into the engineering. I've always been, I think I have an affinity for the hard sciences. and in manufacturing, you actually feel things in your hands, and you feel very grounded. Well, with numbers, you feel like, you know, it can just be created just virtually. But in engineering, every little step of the way makes so much difference. It's a very nice feeling being in manufacturing, I think. So I think we don't have enough women. I don't think men necessarily discriminate women, but the fact that we don't have enough of us, so they feel a little uncomfortable. They don't really know how to handle women. Are we capable? Are we not capable? How should we speak to them and how not speak to them? So I think that I probably make men uncomfortable being in this industry, and I don't mind. So but the time has passed, and I think I see more and more women in engineering, not so much in my trade where we are doing precision engineering, but more in the IT business and in the software in other parts of engineering. Okay, so the baby business is very different. It's a woman's industry. So it's so fun. It's so wonderful. The topics you resonate with. Your problems of being a mom you resonate with. You talk to retailers, they're mostly women. You talk to consumers, they're women. Women make the decision.
I was going to say, they make all the consumer decisions, right?
I know. So I think it's so wonderful. It's fun. It's fun for me.
So coming to work's a bit more fun now.
I think so.
And are all your products then, they're all made here in Singapore?
Well, no, they're mostly manufactured in China.
Okay.
But they're all designed here.
Oh, okay.
I should show you our workshop later.
So everything, all your prototypes and everything are all made
all done here.
Yeah, we'd love to see that.
So we are working on new products, and we will do tests here. We'll 3D print them. We'll make sure that they fit. We'll make sure that functionally it passes. Then we send the final drawings to our factory in China.
And then it's all made there.
And again, the factories in China, they come within our group. So, and we make some of the best products for the top brands. So we're careful with what we do in manufacturing. We take care of every little aspect, from the raw material we use all the way to the craftsmanship of the product.
You're pretty hands-on, right?
I like to think so. A little too much for my liking.
Well, like for example, I'm sure you wouldn't mind me sharing, when you do your adverts for your products, you're there in person, which a lot of CEOs might not necessarily make time to be there in person. So I think that shows that it's still a personal touch, which I think is nice for your potential customers to know, because it's a product that you actually care about rather than just another product off the conveyor belt.
And you also want to join the fun.
And it is fun.
Yes, that's how we met, right?
Yeah, that is how we met, when my little girl was a little model for ORIBEL. But so now that you don't have little ones like my size little ones, what still motivates you to do this? Because quite often it's easy to be, for me, I'm interested in all things baby because I've got a baby. When your babies are slightly bigger babies, how do you keep yourself still motivated, or what still inspires you now to still do baby products?
So you can see that as my child grows, our product age group, age range also extends. And now we have the VertiPlay. And the VertiPlay Marble Run is for 7 years old to 99 years old.
99 years old.
That's right. Yes. So my little one at 11 years old, she has filled up the walls in my house with like 16 base mats for the vertiplane marble run, and she's been fixing it and she's been tinkling with it because she really likes things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so you're right. Your inspiration does change as your children grows up.
Yeah.
So you can see that ORIBEL is going into more of a older and older stuff like toys.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we don't do baby, because babies just really
Still your heart.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and then so everything now is kind of getting back to people can go to the shops to look at their products, right? Because I think a lot of people like to buy things online,
yes,
but you like to see the product as well.
I think new moms do, right? You need to feel it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we have seen a big shift from offline to online.
Okay.
And I think online is going to be here to stay and grow, and we're focusing all our efforts to reach out via the digital platforms.
And at the moment, if somebody wanted to buy your products online in Singapore, where should they look to?
Well, we have our own website. It's loveoribel.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Louder. Loveoribel.com.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us and sharing a little bit more about kind of your story and what inspired you to start. I think anybody that hears no from people when they've got a good idea and says, damn it, I'll make it myself, is a power mum in my book. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for the session. It's been a fun chat with you.
Thank you. And I hope that we see more of your products in the near future.
We will work on it. You're British, right?
I'm British.
Because when we first started selling in UK, the first hurdle we had was our name.
Ah.
Everyone goes, your name needs to be changed. It sounds horrible.
It sounds horrible.
Horrible.
Horrible, yeah. Because certain accents will miss off the H. So they would say horrible.
So we were almost, we were just wondering what we're going to do with this ORIBEL.
With our horrible product.
Yes. And in the 30 countries, you start realizing that, names will be pronounced differently and means different thing in different country.
Yeah.
But coming from an English-speaking country, I'm thinking, how did I miss that?